Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a phenomenon that is literally reshaping our society, and spoiler alert, not for the better. We are looking at a pretty grave reality playing out on our screens every single day. People are trading decades of their potential for just one short video. It's crazy, right? In this desperate chase for viral fame, folks are making split-second decisions that completely shatter their futures. It forces us to ask an incredibly absurd question. Is destroying your entire life really worth a mere 1,000 views? I mean, when you say it out loud, it sounds completely insane, doesn't it? But we're seeing this happen everywhere. Have a handful of likes become so incredibly important that we've just forgotten the basic difference between right and wrong? Everybody wants to go viral today, but almost no one stops to think about the morning after. 15. That is the number I want you to burn into your brain right now, because 15 seconds is literally all it takes. Just a 15-second clip, a fleeting moment in time. Yet, that tiny 15-second decision can permanently and irreversibly alter the entire course of a young person's life. Think about how fast 15 seconds go by. Now imagine having to live with the consequences of those few seconds for the next 50 years.
Section 1. The viral mentality and the 15-second mistake.
To really understand this, let's picture a recent viral incident. There's a young guy inside a train carriage, and he intentionally smashes a seat just to get a good clip. The camera's rolling, there's loud thumping music dubbed over it, and his friends are in the background just cheering him on. Inside that confined little digital bubble, he genuinely believes he's being some sort of rebellious hero. He thinks he's doing something incredibly cool.
But let's drop the polite facade for a second. Out here in the real world, this is not heroism. It is a blatant crime. There is absolutely nothing brave about destroying public railway property. It's just pure vandalism masquerading as entertainment. And honestly, we need to start calling it exactly what it is.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive disconnect between the digital world and reality. On your screen, it's a total fantasy. Likes are ticking up, follower counts are growing, comments are cheering you on. But waiting right outside that little digital bubble is a brutal reality check. We're talking arrest, jail time, and deep, lasting shame. I want to challenge everyone watching this explainer to really think about those immediate, real-world consequences. Sure, you got the likes, but what happens when the police show up? What happens when the actual authorities step in? I'll tell you exactly what happens. All those views, all those laughing comments, those new followers, they become absolutely useless. They cannot bail you out, and there's no rewind button on life.
Which brings us to Section 2. Real crimes, real consequences.
So, the crucial point is, we need to lay out the cold, hard facts. You are not just getting a slap on the wrist for this kind of stunt. You're looking at a formal police case, you're looking at heavy financial fines, and very real potential jail time. Your entire record is permanently stained by an act of sheer stupidity that you decided to capture in high definition. Vandalizing public property is a severe legal offense, and let me tell you, authorities treat it with the absolute strictness it deserves. Just fast forward 3 or 4 years. You're sitting in a recruiter's office, applying for your absolute dream job. What happens when your background check flags this exact incident? Because believe me, it will. That 15-second mistake just walked into the room and completely destroyed your career before it even had a chance to begin. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the hidden truth it points to. Social media is basically just a curated highlight reel. It shows you the virality, it gives you those quick dopamine spikes, but it completely hides the devastating part 2. The police stations, the endless court dates, the tears, all of that aftermath, it is completely hidden from your feed.
The creator might be trapped in their own little delusion, genuinely thinking they're a hero. But the people scrolling past, they aren't looking up to them. No way. The public views this behavior as completely foolish. It's just a public nuisance. That so-called fame they think they have, it's actually just widespread public disdain.
Moving right into Section 3, breaking hearts, not seats. Because the collateral damage here goes so much deeper than a broken piece of plastic. Physical things, those can be repaired. But think about the parents for a second. They sacrificed everything. They worked tirelessly, raising a child with so many hopes and dreams. Sure, society's going to judge and the neighbors will whisper, but it's the family that ultimately absorbs the most profound, devastating pain. It is just an unspeakable sadness. Imagine being raised with so much love and dedication, only to step out into the world and become famous for an act that brings intense humiliation to your hardworking parents. The heaviest shame doesn't even rest on the creator's shoulders. It crushes the family who never, ever asked to be in that kind of spotlight.
And finally, Section 4, Stop Fake Viral Culture.
Let's move to and see how this builds. It really comes down to two very distinct choices. Path 1, you destroy property for a cheap thrill and systematically ruin your future. Or Path 2, you want to be a hero? Then actually be one. Help someone in need. Make someone's day better. Real heroism isn't about breaking things. It's about building people up. Before you hit record, before you try to impress an audience of absolute strangers online, just stop. Think. That camera lens has incredible power. It can either showcase your true talent and make you legitimately respected, or it can capture the single worst decision of your entire life and destroy you completely. Ultimately, the decision is entirely yours. You hold the camera, which means you hold your future. If you are ready to end this destructive trend, take a stand right now. Flood the comments below with "Stop Fake Viral Culture." Let's choose to be famous for the right reasons. Think before you hit record. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.